Here's this. Now, passengers flying with low-cost airline Southwest are familiar with the slow walk down the plane aisle, carefully eyeing empty seats and gauging whether or not they'd like to sit there or not. Recently, some passengers have gotten creative with new techniques to discourage people from sitting there. Now, Instagram creators and travel companions Kala and David Allen published a joint Instagram reel in which the duo pretended to be in a heated argument as a way to dissuade anyone from actually joining their row. Now, if you're not familiar with Southwest Airlines, let me bring you up to speed here. You've only been on it once, and you were on them during the pandemic, so you didn't get the real Southwest experience. It is open seating. There are no assigned seats. You get assigned a boarding group and a number, a letter and a number based on the time you check in or if you pay extra money. That being said, when you walk on the plane, you pick any seat. So people are trying to get creative with ways to dissuade people from sitting next to you. Now, before the pandemic, if you wore one of those surgical masks, no one would sit next to you. You'd have the open seat. If you started coughing, people would just keep walking. If you sat in the middle, no one would possibly want to sit on either side of you. There are ways to do it. But now you got to get creative because the surgical mask doesn't dissuade anyone from sitting there. Okay, so now in their hilarious video, which has been viewed at least 3 million times, the couple breaks character several times laughing at the absurdity of the situation. Now, fortunately for them, the middle seat actually stayed open on the flight as passengers seemed to quickly walk past the argument in order to find a different seat.
The whole thing, I mean, that's very clever of them to do, but like the whole thing is like a lot of work.
It is. I mean, but you know, on a regular airplane, or on a regular airline, I should say, you would be picking your seat or paying to pick a seat. Southwest has never done that. Now, there's been argument throughout the years of whether or not they should have assigned seats or whatnot. I mean, do you have a say?
But I feel like some people like this. Some people I feel like the game, and people like to do this kinds of thing.
Well, so many times I've been in the later boarding groups, like C30 to, I think it stops at 60, but C30 something, and I've still ended up in a window or an aisle because like there'll be people sitting on an aisle and on the window, and you're like, okay, well, I guess the only seat left is that middle seat, and then you realize that they're married, and they're like, oh no, we'll sit next to each other. And then they slide over, then you end up taking the window or the aisle.
What's this whole charade like?
I mean, but Southwest has been profitable with this model forever.
Great for them.
It works for them.
It's giving me a little bit of stress, just like the whole maneuvering and planning on where I'm gonna sit.
So,
I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this.